Right. 4 mistakes business owners have made when it comes to bounce back loans. Now remember, we're talking to you, the limited company director, and before I get, my name's Chris Worden. So right, problem number 1, the business owner shouldn't have took one in the first place. So remember, the bounce back loans come in, I think it was May 2020, the world had ended, we did not know what was going to happen, the government stepped in, made all this money available. Now, it was really easy to apply for. Literally, you went on the relevant bank's website, you typed in a few things, and a couple of days later you had a load of money land in your account with very limited checks. So obviously this was open to abuse. Now the first problem is people who shouldn't have took one. So what does it mean you shouldn't have took one? Well, it's really simple. You had to be a trading company on the 1st of March 2020. Okay, so if you have been had dormant accounts in 18, 19, 20, you should not have took that bounce back loan. And if you did take one when you shouldn't have took one, there's going to be some issues for you personally. You also couldn't have been in liquidation or an insolvency process. So if your company was liquidated, you was not allowed to take a bounce back loan. If your company was in something called a company voluntary arrangement, you wasn't allowed to apply for a bounce back loan. And if you're found to have done any of those and you end up going into liquidation, the insolvency practitioner, it's their job to look at this conduct and try and make some recoveries of those monies that you have taken inappropriately. Number 2, very common, you've took too much on your bounce back loan. So let's look at the facts first. When you applied for your bounce back loan, you had to declare, so again, it was open to abuse, that you was going to take 25% of your turnover in the calendar year 2019. So if we can just cue some examples. If you had £200,000 as your turnover, you could claim £50,000. If you had £20,000 as your turnover, you could claim £5,000. Okay, very clear cut. Now I hear this every single day. Well, I thought it was projected turnover. You wasn't really paying attention, or perhaps you was and you was chancing your arm. Now you could only use a projected turnover if your business was incorporated after the 1st of January 2020. Okay, so I hope I've made that point clear. Listen, if you've taken too much, first of all, you're not the only one. But it's really important that you take advice on this point as soon as you can and look at ways to mitigate your issue and how you can right the wrong, okay? Because you are going to be accused of bounce back loan fraud if you've taken too much. This could land you as a disqualification as a director, and it may make you personally liable for the amount that you took too much. So it's really important that you deal with this and you don't bury your head in the sand. Number 3, you took 2 bounce back loans from different banks. This is a big no-no. And I'm going to tell you a couple of examples that I've heard. Well, I've applied for one, and by the way, this could be true as well. I applied for one bank, and if you remember, some banks were like ages and ages to actually pay out on the loan. And in the meantime, I panicked, and I also applied for another bank that I have. And in the end, I ended up with 2 bounce back loans in my account. Okay, that was a problem. But you know what you should have done? The minute that landed is you sent one back to one of the banks. If you've then gone on to spend both bounce back loans, you've got some serious consequences in an insolvency procedure, because it's going to be picked up on straight away by the insolvency practitioner. They're going to report it to the insolvency service. Highly likely you're going to be disqualified as a director. It's also likely that you would be made personally liable for some or all of those loans. And actually, it could border into criminal proceedings, this. So if you're a business owner that's taken 2 bounce back loans in one company when you should have only took the one, you really need to get some advice early doors from an insolvency professional, but also potentially from an insolvency lawyer. Okay. Number 4, you took the bounce back loan, which you was entitled to take, but then you spent it personally. Okay, listen, this is a bit of a grey area. And what I mean by that, it's all about the context. If you were a one-man band, you took, I don't know, a 30 grand bounce back loan, and over the next 15 months, you took £2,000 a month from your business to your personal account. That's a very different story to if your 30 grand landed on the Monday and you took it out personally on the Tuesday, with very different consequences. Now, when you were a one-man band, you could sort of use the bounce back loan as salary, but it's highly likely you've not taken it as salary. You've just drawn it out in dribs and drabs. And what I mean by not taking it out as salary is you've not put it through the PAYE scheme. Okay. Now if that's you, you've took a couple of grand a month to keep living, pay the bills, feed the kids, pay the mortgage. You're not going to be accused of bounce back loan fraud, but you've probably incurred an overdrawn director's loan account. If you're the person that took the bounce back loan on the Monday, transferred it all into your personal account or into a crypto account or into a stocks and shares account on the Tuesday, you've got a problem with that. The bounce back loan was never meant for that. It had to be used for the benefit of the business that took it. Now, I think I want to sum up here. Key advice is, if anything I've said on this video worries you, you need to take advice ASAP. You can book a call with me in the comment section below. Bounce back loan fraud cannot and will not be swept under the carpet. But the best course of action is for you to take advice early, to understand your position and understand what options you've got going forward. Please, please, please don't use the ostrich method. Burying your head in the sand with stuff like this will have serious consequences. And if you're watching this and I'm hitting a nerve with you, you're probably not sleeping well anyway. You know, I would say 100% of people that speak to First Business Rescue wish they'd have made the call earlier. I hope you found the video useful. It's not here to scare you. It's here to inform you so you make better decisions. Please drop us any questions in the comment section. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for your time and have a lovely day. Goodbye.